Will now be recorded.
Okay, yesterday we had discussed about creating the table one calculated fields. Any doubts related to it? Right, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So yesterday we had understood how to give the necessary information like creating the calculated fields. Like in Excel, we understood how to write the functions and formulas, right? So for dearness allowance, medical allowance, gross salary, professional tax, net salary, salary per income, per annum, income tax, and CPC. Okay. So I hope everybody is clear with this. Type in one if this is clear. Any doubts means you can put in the chat box. Type in one if this is clear. Yesterday, whatever we have learned. Only Annie has understood. What about others? If you are having any doubts, you can let me know. Okay, so now when I'm working in, I'm going to bring in the data, but I'm going to take this data. Okay, so I wanted to take this data. So let's start working on Tableau. So now here you can see I have this both the sheets. I'm going to bring in only Tableau data. So the sheet. So here you can see my data is uploaded, and here you can see the data is also identified where I have the 5 columns. So first column is serial number, employee code, employee name, designation, and salary. Now based on this information, I wanted to build the calculated fields. Okay. So calculated fields, what are the details that we said? So in order to work on this, so here I'm going to create a calculated field. Okay. Create user defined calculated field. So user defined calculated fields in order to check the results. Okay. In order to check the results. So where I'm going to use the dimension. Dimension. So here I'm going to use the particular type of functions which will be helpful in order to work on this. Okay. So these are called as control structures. So here I'll be using this to create the types of decision making. Okay, wherein I'll be using the first one, if. Okay, so if condition I'm going to use, then next I'm going to use if else. Okay, so while I'm creating it, I'm going to mention you what are these things used for, if else. And third, we are going to use the ladder if. So ladder if, or we can even call it as nested if. Nested if. Okay, so nested if, where I'll be using this equal, greater than, and followed up with the condition. Okay, so then, so I'll be creating. So yesterday as we discussed, so what are the things that I'm going to do with? So employee, salary, payroll system. Okay, so here as we saw just now, what are the informations we have? So we have the information of serial number, then we have the employee name, employee code. So we have the employee code, employee name, then designation, and basic salary. So these are the information we have. So here, for based on this information, I'm going to create the calculated fields. I'm going to create calculated fields. Okay, so what are these things that I'm going to do? So we are going to create HRA, that is house rent allowance. Then we are going to create the DA, that is dearness allowance. Then medical allowance. Then GS, that is gross salary. Then professional tax. Then SPA, salary per annum. Then IP, income tax, and that is cost to company. Okay, so these are the informations what we are going to create using the if else, ladder if, or which we call it even as nested if, and using the logical functions as well. Okay, so now as I have brought in the details, so here you can see the designation is there. So let me open the solved one. Okay, so I have the salary, that is my basic salary. So first I have the serial number, then we have the employee code, employee name, designation, and salary. So initially itself I have explained dimensions and measures. Dimension which are related to the text-based data, that measures which are related to the numerical based data. Okay. So now before we do with any of these things, simply we will just create a simple charts and then we will start working on the calculated fields. So I wanted to check for the employee name and I wanted to know the salary. Okay, so some of the salary I wanted to know. So I get this. Let me sort it ascending. Okay, so this is my basic salary as per the people. So in this, if you see the highest paid, so Darshan is receiving the highest salary. Okay, so based on the performance, everything. So this is the salary what they are obtaining. Then coming to the next one. So if I wanted to put the same thing in the tree map chart and check. Okay. So I'm going to take the employee name and basic salary I'm going to take. So let me take the employee name in the rows and salary. Let me put it in the columns. And here I'm going to take the tree map chart. So now you can see tree map is visible. So it is as per the salary. So the least to the highest salary. So Darshan is getting paid with the highest salary. So now I wanted to check with the salary details as well. So I'll bring in the salary and drop it to the table. Okay. So how much is the salary? I have got to know about this. So now if I wanted to change with the color, I'm going to click on edit and change the color. Okay, from here, from automatic, I'm going to change it to the color palette. So red to gold. Okay, so like this, we can get it applied. Okay, so based on the designation, if I wanted, so I can put it in the rows. So based on the designation, I can see how the salary it is getting paid. Okay, so try with these two charts, then we will continue with our calculated fields. So one more chart, let's do it as per the designation, how we are going to get paid. So first let me take the designation and then let me take the employee name, and based on that, I'm going to take the salary. Okay, based on the designation C. So now I wanted to sort it. I'm going to click on this. So you can see the sort has happened. So now based on this, I wanted to apply with the color. Okay, so let me put the employee names, drag and drop it in the color. So you can see as per the names, the colors are arranged. So I wanted to check with the values. So what I'll do, I'll drag the salary and drop it to the text. So I'm going to get to know the salary as well. So try with this chart, which we have already done it. Guys, now whatever the three charts I explained, I hope it is clear. If it is clear, type in 2. Guys, type in 2 if you are clear with this three different charts what I showed. Guys, am I audible? Type in 2 if these three charts are clear. If you are having any doubts, please put it in the chat box. If you want me to explain these three charts once again, I will show you once again. guys try with these three charts. So whatever the information I have shared, so you can use the same table only, same values, and then try creating this bar chart. So then map, tree map, and then in the column chart, if anybody is having any doubts, please let me know. Guys, if I'm going any fast or you're not able to follow it, please tell. If you want me to explain it once again, also you can tell.
Am I audible to you people? Am I audible?
Guys, am I audible? Okay, so I asked you people to try with these three charts. So please try with these three charts with whatever the basic information we have. Once after this, we'll create the calculated fields. I wanted you people to create with this bar chart, and then I wanted you to create a tree map, and then the column chart based on the designation. I wanted you people to create this. If you want me to explain it once again, please tell. I will explain it. If these three things you are able to do it on your own, type in 2. Okay, try with this three charts. We'll start working on the calculated fields. Okay guys, now let's understand how to create the calculated fields. See, first thing what I had asked is, so I wanted to create the HRA, right? So let's create the HRA. So in the solved one I have already created. So here you can see, whenever I'm creating any calculated fields, the symbol will appear something like this. So that is equal to hashtag. That means, so it is a numerical based calculation, but it is not from the data. Okay, it is not from my column, but I have created a calculated field in order to get this value. Okay, so now in order to check this, I'll click on this drop down, I'll go to edit, and here you can see I have this data. Okay, so now yesterday what we tried, the same this one only I'm going to write the function. Okay, so here I'm using the if condition. So here I'm telling that if the basic salary, so the salary part, when I'm multiplying, if it multiplying with 8% and I'm getting the output greater than or equal to 2500, then I wanted the output to be shown as 4800. If not, if it is less than 2500, so then I'll be using this else condition. Okay, else basic salary, so whatever the value is there, multiply it with 8%. Okay, so whenever we are writing any calculated function, it becomes mandatory for us to give this end and complete the calculation. Okay, any function formula, anything I am writing, this end key is required. Okay, so when I am writing the values in this way. Okay, so now let me go to Tableau, and here let me take the cursor to the measures. So beneath this there is an empty space. So let me come here and right click on this, and here we have the calculated fields. Okay, so I wanted to create a calculated field. I'll click on this, and what is this measure name is, so the measure name is HRA, and here what is the condition that I'm going to write, it is on if condition. If, as I type in, you can see there are so many different types of functions available. And now if I click on this arrow button over here, the small arrow button is there, no? So here when I click, so whatever the functions we have in Excel, almost everything is listed out over here. So as per the requirement, whatever it is required, you can make use of it. Okay, so like this we have all the functions, but I'm going to write it directly. So let me say if I'm taking the if statement. So I'm telling this one on salary. Okay, so if, so let me see here. See, I have taken salary. I'll just drag the salary, and as I bring in this salary over here, you can see a small cursor will appear where it will tell. So the value what you have, what you are bringing in, it will be placed here. So as I select this, so if salary when multiplied with 0.08. Okay, so that is why yesterday I did not show you directly to calculate with percentage value, but rather I told you to take it in decimal. Okay, if your salary is basic salary, so here I have mentioned it as salary, that's why. So if basic salary when multiplied with 0.08, okay, and you get the output greater than or equal to 2500. Okay, so this is my condition. So let me say then. Okay, so then is also one statement. Then I press enter. I wanted the output 4800. Okay, so if the condition is not met, then else if, else if, so I'm telling else if basic salary. Okay, I'll bring in the salary once again over here. So you can see the cursor is pointing it out. So here it is getting placed. So basic salary. So if the value is, when you multiply it with 8% and you get the output greater than or equal to 2500, then I'm telling I wanted it to be displayed as 4800. If the value is less than 2500, then else if salary, multiply it with 0.08. Okay, and show the output as it is. Now I have to just click on this and give end. Okay, so see end. So here until unless I complete it with end, you can see here you will be getting an error. The calculation contains error. As I give this, see that will disappear. Okay, end statement I'll give, and I'll click on okay. So I have got this. So let's see, it is showing as The calculation contains the error. So why is this thing showing me the error? One second, guys. Let me check what is the problem is. Okay. So now you can see it is not else if, it is else. Okay. So I have to take. So let me clear this and show it once again. I'm going to write if condition, if my salary when multiplied with 0.08, okay, and I get the output greater than or equal to 2500, then I wanted the output to be displayed as 4800. 4800. If not, if it is less than 2500, I'm telling else take the salary and multiply it with 0.08, and then end with the statement. See, now here it will display the calculation is valid. I click on OK. So my calculation is done. Okay, so try with this. Guys, if you want me to explain it again, please tell. Guys, if anybody want me to explain this once again, please tell. You can mention it in the chat box. Guys, hope you people are done with this. Let's go to the next calculated field. So next we wanted dearness allowance. So dearness allowance. So dearness allowance, it is on basic salary. 3% will be the dearness allowance. So now what I'm going to do, I'll come here, take the cursor to this empty field, go to create calculated field, and this is dearness allowance. And this will be 3% on the basic salary. I'm going to drag this basic salary, drop it here, and multiply it with 0.03. Okay, this is a very basic calculation. So here I have not used any functions or formulas. It's a normal basic calculation it is. Okay, hope you people are done with this. Let's go to the next one. Earners allowance is done. Now what is that I wanted? I wanted medical allowance. So medical allowance. So medical allowance, you can see the condition. So it is based on the designation. So if the employee is an accountant, then it will be 3,500. So else if, so if he is not an accountant, else if he is an admin, then it will be 3,000. Again, else if means if he is not belonging to accountant and admin, then if he is an HR, then 2,800. The same say if he is an salesperson, 2,500. Okay, so here we are using this condition. So let me click here, go to create calculated field, and this is medical allowance. And here let me use the if condition, if designation. So I have to bring in the designation and drop it. So designation, if it is equal to, so let me go to the data source so that I can see the fields. Designation, so if he is an HR, then it should be 3,500. Okay, so if he is not an HR, then I have to use else if again I have to pick the designation. So if he is an accountant, then so the medical allowance will be 3,000. If he is not an accountant also, then else if I'll bring in the designation. If he is an admin, then so medical allowance will be 2,800. Else if So designation is let me check it once. Marketing and sales. So it is a marketing executive. So how the name is mentioned, the same way it has to be mentioned in the measures also. So it will be 2500. Else if. So last designation is sales. So let me bring in the designation over here. If it is equal to sales, then so the medical allowance will be 2000. So now I have brought in all the designations. Now let me complete the measure by giving end. And I'll click on OK. So medical allowance is done. So I wanted you people to try with this medical allowance. Guys, answer your attendance. In the meantime, Pritika. Hitesh.
Present, ma'am.
Nikita. Nikita. Vaishnavi.
Present, ma'am.
Nisha.
Present, ma'am.
Saida Riza.
Present, ma'am.
Nisha.
Nisha, present, ma'am.
Tanya.
Present, ma'am.
Tejaswini. Kavana. Sakina. Kavana. Kavana. Aditi. Gopika. Hashita. Kevin. Lakshita. Ilakya. Navya. Nayana. Nayana. Rachana. Rachana. Shreya.
Present, ma'am.
Neha, Tasmia, Nandana, Chavi, Hemika,
Present, ma'am.
Trisha, Tanisha, Vanessa, Vanessa,
Anisha, present, ma'am.
Barera, Maria, Maria,
Present, ma'am.
Harshita, Harshita R, Annie, Geraldine, Gagana,
Present, ma'am.
Sachi, Sidrat,
Present, ma'am.
Akshaya, Akshaya, yesterday you are present. Akshaya, yesterday you were present. Alok, Krishna, Asba, Asba, Nimra, Shazia,
Present, ma'am.
Priya,
Present, ma'am.
okay, Pallavi has put it in the message. Okay. Okay, next we have to do with the gross salary. So hope you people are done with this. So gross salary. So it is basic salary plus allowance plus HRA and medical allowance. So let me create a calculated gross salary. So here it will be salary plus HRA plus medical allowance plus dearness allowance. So this is the calculation for gross salary. Today Kritika and Nikita did not attend. Kritika and Nikita. Okay, let's do with the other things. Then after this, professional tax. So professional tax, how we did with the calculation. So let me open the so professional tax will be 0.10%. Okay, let me come here and click calculated fields, professional tax. So it will be on gross salary. So let me bring in the gross salary into 0.10%. So the same calculation method I'm going to follow in order to apply the values, in order to get the values. So professional tax, and then what I wanted, salary per annum. So salary per annum will be, so first I need to find the net salary. So net salary will be gross salary minus professional tax. So I get the net salary. So in order to get the salary per annum, So that will be SPA. Salary per annum will be net salary multiplied by 12. So then I wanted to calculate the income tax. So I'm telling if salary per annum is less than or equal to 3 lakh, then so what it should be? It should be 0. Else, if, so I'm going to use the AND function. So salary per annum so salary per annum, so I have to mention both the condition, greater than and less than. So let me say greater than or equal to 3 lakh 1 to salary per annum less than or equal to 4 lakh. Then, so what I wanted, so it should be multiplied with, salary per annum should be multiplied with 3%. Again, else if and salary per annum greater than or equal to 4 lakh 1 to salary per annum less than or equal to 6 lakh. Then salary per annum should be multiplied with 0.06. Else if salary per annum should be multiplied with 0.08. Then give the end function and complete it. Okay, we are getting some error over here. So let me sort it out and explain you tomorrow once again with this. So today we have done with some of the calculated functions, calculated fields using the based on the Excel functions and formulas only. So now you must have got some idea about how to write the calculations in Tableau. So try with this out. So if there is any doubt, please you can let me know in tomorrow's session.